Greg Gruff and Nate Moran with you ahead of this big week of Gulf South games here at the Field House. You guys went on the road, and 1-1. I'm sure you would like it to be 2-0, but I thought there was a lot of good that we saw watching both those games. But in particular, I thought you guys handled a lot so well in the game on Saturday. I thought that was one of your best games all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest things is, we're all learning right now. We have a young team. We have a new coach, right? So we're all learning right now. And one of the things that I had to learn was, there's got to be passion, but it can't be emotional. And I thought that I affected our team in a negative way with my emotions on Thursday, and that's just something that we have to learn from, and I felt that pour out into our team, and I thought we learned from that, we grew from that, and that'll be something that we look back on at the end of the year, and I think it'll be a big turning point for us.
Can I ask you something? How do you go about learning that stuff about yourself?
Well, when you act like an idiot, you got to do some reflection, and I thought that's what I did. I thought I thought I didn't represent Christ well, and if we are going to be judged by our fruit at the end of this life, then I thought that, I needed to look back, reflect, and see how I was leading these men. And I thought it was I thought our inability to get over the hump, it was more than just X's and O's. And I think typically it usually is.
Yeah.
And I thought it was tied to the way that I acted. And, I was excited that, we were able to turn around. And, our guys, we just got unbelievable guys that are tough and resilient and, that care a lot.
Talked with Spencer about rebounding and things like that. And you guys, one of the things I've been really impressed with is you guys haven't let your size impact your ability to go after the rebounds. And you guys have figured out a way to get rebounds. In particular, Spencer, I think, has done a really good job of that. Even what's not shows up in the stat category is when he goes up and tips the ball to somebody. He does that as much as about anybody I've ever seen. So he doesn't get credit for anything. But he helped his team, right?
Yeah, and Spencer knows, if he has the opportunity to grab with two hands, I prefer him just to grab it with two hands.
Yes.
Grab 50-50 balls. But, the first game of the year, we played Palm Beach Atlantic, who was huge, and we got dominated on the glass. And I thought it was a big learning moment for us, which is actually – it's pretty funny because the first game that I coached high school basketball, I think we lost the rebounding margin by 20. Yeah. I think my 5-man was 6'1", and we were playing against a 6'8" dude that was going to play college basketball. And, it just you start working on it. And, sometimes I've always heard the phrase, it's better to learn through wins. But sometimes you have to have losses. You have to have hard moments to grow, and that's kind of, storms of this life as you grow the most during storms.
Well, kind of like what you said, you're happy of him to get the rebound if that's the only way he can get it, but you would prefer – to learn from winning rather than losing, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right. Well, you guys have gotten to 10-5 overall, 5-4 in the conference. You're 5th in the league. You're picked 8th out of 12 going in. And last year's team, like we look at that was a really good year, and it was. But that team won 19 games. You're 9 away from that. I know you don't look at that stuff, but goobers like me do. But those are markers of success for you guys to be 10-5 when very few people outside of this building probably thought you would, and I think that's something to put a notch in. But you don't want to get distracted, right?
No, I mean, it's. I'm happy that our guys get to see it, and our staff too. Our staff works tirelessly. I have 3 unbelievable assistant coaches, and Logan Gantz, Beion Hendricks, and Bryce Gerlach that do a whole lot for not a lot. And as assistant coaches, you don't get a lot of praise, you don't get a lot of fame, but like those guys, Coach Bryce out there right now, like those guys are always working to make Trevecca better. So having the opportunity to compete in this league is tough. We've seen it this week. We've gone 1-1, I think, every single week. No matter who we've played, it's been 1-1. So we would like to make that adjustment this week and put 2 games in a row together. But, you can only win 2 in a row if you win the first one. So, yes, I'm proud of our guys for where they are. I'm really proud of our staff for what they've done. But it's a long season, and, it's a tournament sport. So you got to be able to get hot at the right time, and I think our guys are trending that way.
Absolutely. And I thought over Christmas we had decent crowds, but now we're into the second semester. The students are back, and people are maybe over their Christmas attention going to Christmas and New Year's and stuff like that. Love to see a really good crowd the rest of the year here at the Fieldhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that when we have a really good crowd, it makes a tremendous impact. And so being able to have the home court advantage that we've had the last 2 years is something that I would love to see, just down the stretch in conference. I think it could be the difference between us finishing in the top half of the league or the bottom half.
One of the things I noticed that you did is I saw your guys at a lot of games this year of other sports here on campus. And that's something that I think you're leading in that area, and that's a really good thing, too. Hopefully you get that payback, too, with some of the other teams coming supporting you guys and the women down the stretch. Talk about traveling on the road now where you've gotten into conference. This is the last thing. Just talk about the relationship with Coach Novak and the men and women traveling together and going on the road like that.
Yeah, so one, Coach Novak is, within a year become a huge mentor to me. For people that don't know, he knows the game of basketball.
Yes, he does.
Like inside and out, anything you could think of, he knows about it.
And he's kind of funny, too, by the way.
Oh, yeah, and he's great. and so Coach Novak and I talk all the time. We talk after games, even when, we're not together. We still will talk on the phone and just, catch up on each other's games and what we did well, what they did well, what we could do better. And I think the best part of that is, there's no egos. It's just like, how can I learn? How can I learn? Because he's been a student of the game for however long, a couple years now. And, like, I have a ton to learn from him as well. And so he'll be like, hey, am I speaking out of place? I'm like, no, man, just tell me what you see. So, yeah, Coach Novak means a whole lot to me, and I think he means a whole lot to Trevecca.
All right, Trevecca basketball coming up next here on Flow College.